Differentiation's one of those marketing words that you probably hear quite a lot, and it might seem a little bit obvious. Generally what it means, differentiation, different. This week we're talking about differentiation. We want to make our product or service different to everything else which is available on the market, or at least the perception that that's different. It's got something unique. Another term you might hear for differentiation is unique selling proposition, or USP. Basically the same thing. It's what makes your product unique or your service unique. The definition I've put here is it's a marketing management strategy or technique, tool that aims to distinguish a brand or product or service from the competition. If all else is equal, products are all basically the same, similar price, and why would you choose one product over another? There's got to be a distinct benefit, and that's why you purchase it. And marketing's job is to create that perception. In marketing, we're focusing on that unique benefit that we provide, that the alternatives don't have, or we do it better. An example of differentiation, say fast food joints, different target markets between Burger King and McDonald's. The two big burger chains in New Zealand and probably around the world, the two biggest. So McDonald's, their point of difference is they're all about families. They have the playground, and the marketing, uses Ronald McDonald and then those characters, Hamburglar and things. I don't know so much if they still use those. They don't in New Zealand so much, but in America and around the world, that was what made McDonald's different, was that sort of family, kids orientation with the quirky characters, which were quite memorable and used in the advertising. And what makes Burger King different to McDonald's is their branding is all focused on targeting men. So they've got basketball hoops at their restaurants. So, young middle-aged men who like basketball can come shoot a few heaps. And that's their point of difference. If all else is equal, burgers are pretty similar. Other products are pretty similar. You get your chips and your drink, your sundae, whatever it is. Pricing is similar. What is the difference between the two? You'd probably think, oh yeah, McDonald's is for kids and Burger King is more for men. Whereas, Burger's probably similar size than McDonald's, maybe slightly larger, but it's a perception that we're creating. It's why we're different. As I've just alluded to, it doesn't necessarily have to be a physical difference in your product. You decide you want a differentiation strategy. It doesn't mean you have to go out and change everything you do just to come up with something slightly different, a new feature which is slightly different. It's all about creating a perception through our marketing and advertising. So it doesn't have to be tangible or physical. It's not saying that we don't want to do that. It just can be very costly. And if you want differentiation right now without going through the whole research and development phase, just having a look in the marketplace, maybe finding a gap where there's not a brand with these sort of unique perception that they're creating with customers. You might associate a feeling with your brand or your products. It might be that you're cool. Fashion, for example, what makes them able to charge a lot more, let's say Nike, Adidas, sportswear brands, it's a perception the customers want from wearing that clothing, that they're cool or trendy, or maybe that they've got money if they're going for more prestigious, say Tommy Hilfiger and those sort of Armani fashion brands. What makes that different to another product or service which is heaps cheaper? Really the price tag is the only difference, because the prestige that comes along with that price tag, that's what makes that company different. It's more prestigious. And that's their differentiation strategy. At the other end of the scale, some businesses might try and differentiate themselves by being cheaper than everywhere else. And that can be quite dangerous because it's easy to replicate. Another brand is going to come along and do it cheaper. It's just inevitable. With a differentiation strategy, we want it to be long-term and sustainable. So the harder we make it for somebody else to copy our strategy, the more unique we are, the longer we're going to keep that as a competitive advantage over our competitors. So sustainability is really key for our point of difference. It's not something we want to change year to year in our advertising, because then we need to change everything about our marketing to align with this point of difference. And I'll just go through some of these marketing tools we can use now. So firstly, research and development. That comes down to marketing, market research. We learn more about our customers, or the customers that we want. We learn more about the marketplace. We find gaps and opportunities which our business can focus on with our marketing and branding, and fill that gap and target those consumers. So it comes all the way back. We can modify our product, give it a new feature that we think will help it sell better, whatever it is. Next comes design and styling. We might just change the colour of our product. We may find, oh, more people want this in black, or more people want this in red or white. Or maybe it's a little bit too heavy. Maybe if we just make it the same but slightly lighter, it'll sell more. It's about coming up with a unique, tangible benefit there that will differentiate our product from the alternatives. Next comes packaging. Everything else could be exactly the same. We'll change our packaging. Again, it might just be the colour. It might be lighter packaging. It might be more expensive packaging. Product stays the same. Packaging is $5 more expensive for us to produce. We might put $20, $30 extra on top of the product. It's the illusion that we're giving customers that it's better, or however we're positioning this packaging change. It could be cheaper packaging so we can sell it for less, and we're positioning ourselves as no frills option, or could be trendy, again going back to those feelings of cool or prestige. The packaging can help us differentiate our product from the alternatives. We go to a supermarket and there's all these products that look exactly the same in the section of the supermarket. Our packaging is different to everybody else and we're differentiated. Supermarket example, distribution. We might sell a product which usually isn't, in the supermarkets. It might be usually in hardware stores or large retailers. And then suddenly we think, oh, there might be actually a market for this in supermarkets. If there's no other alternatives to our product in a certain category, then that makes our product different because it's the only one you can get from the supermarket. That becomes differentiation strategy. You might be the only one in a certain part of town. They have to travel over, travel further away to get your service. So then you're differentiated from all the other services that might be clustered in a certain part of town. Advertising. Advertising encompasses everything, really, that we've talked about. When we come down to our advertising, we want to focus on our point of difference. So we might talk about one of these things that makes our product different, but that advertising creates the perception in the customer's mind that we're different or how we're different. So advertising really is a powerful tool for differentiation. I mean, our product might be no different, but if our advertising tells people that it is, they'll probably believe us. And lastly, branding. Again, branding encompasses everything from the design of the product to the colours, where we distribute it, our location. Now, basically everything we perceive a brand to be is branding. Branding just sets something apart from the alternatives. Like back in the day, where the term branding came from, it was used for slaves. So you could, you knew who the slave was because all the slaves, nameless, they just had a brand stamped on them, or livestock. It's so we can recognize something from something else. That's what branding is. And that's this week's topic on differentiation.